What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. So today I'm going to give you a plan to get abs like the legendary Bruce Lee in just 22 days. Now look, I know you're probably thinking, how am I going to get from maybe this to that in 22 days? Well, step by step and with consistency. And that is the plan here, guys. You're going to do this plan literally for the next 22 days. It's not long, it's not a big commitment, but you have to be consistent with it. And I'm going to show you the exercises that Bruce Lee actually used to help carve out a six-pack, but it also helps, to try to eat like Bruce Lee, because we know that nutrition is a huge part of whether or not you'll actually see your abs. So some of the main takeaways from how he ate was, number one, he actually abstained from alcohol. Now maybe you can't do that entirely, you'd like a drink now or then, but you want to cut it down if you can, okay? Because the less consumption of alcohol, the less empty calories, but the better chance you're going to have to see your abs. Number two, he actually didn't really eat a lot of junk foods. He cut out the refined sugars. He actually still ate carbohydrates, but he got rid of a lot of the fried foods and junk foods. As a matter of fact, there's stories about him going to McDonald's, but the reason that there's stories of them is because he didn't go all the time. People talk about me eating carrot cake because I do it twice a year. They don't talk about me eating chicken because I do it all the time. It's a boring story. And thirdly, like I mentioned, he didn't avoid carbohydrates. He knew that they fueled his workouts. I'm not advising you ever get rid of carbohydrates entirely from your diets either. Just eat them more responsibly. So with that being said, what are the exercises? How are we going to stack together this workout? Well, there's an interesting way that we can do it, and it's called the OTE method, which is a number or till exhaustion. And what he did is he actually started with this exercise here, and it's called the standing elbow twist. And he did 25 to each side or till exhaustion. So that means that your minimum number here is going to be 25. If you can do more, you go till exhaustion. Maybe you can do 30 or maybe you can do 35. You would go until exhaustion. However, if you were to stop at some point on the way to 25, briefly regroup, take a breath, and get right back into the exercise until you reach 25, and then you stop. Don't try to speed through this. It's a very slow and deliberate move. Get that good contraction on your oblique to both sides, 25, and when you do, you hit the ground. And the next exercise that he performed here was called the frog kick. Now he actually did a variation both laying down and actually hanging from a bar, but the mechanics are the same. You bring your knees in towards your chest to shorten that lever arm and make the exercise a little bit easier. And then you shoot them up in one motion up towards the sky. You get a little bit of a pelvic lift off of the ground to ensure that posterior pelvic rotation, lower ab activation. You come back down, you straighten the legs out. Again, that's sort of an isometric challenge for the lower abs. You come back in and you keep going. And once again, the number here was 25 or till exhaustion. We go to the next one here, and it's actually called the single leg raise. And for this, he just got back into this recliner position, right? And from here, you're just driving one leg up, keeping it straight, and really trying to get that contraction in your abs. Again, I call this sort of a mid-range movement because you have both top-down and bottom-up activity going on at the same time, though the top is actually staying relatively stable. You really want to, as you did in the standing ab twist exercise, really drive and feel the contraction from the bottom up. Don't just lift your leg up with your hip flexor. There's a difference, and you'll feel it. If you do that, you're just going to feel your legs getting tired. If you do it the right way, you should feel your abs getting tired here. You do this for 25 or till exhaustion. And then we move into the next exercise. We sit up a little bit, and we do the seated elbow to knee tuck. And all you're doing here is now you sort of get much more of that upper body involvement, right? If the last one was more stable, now we're getting both the top and the bottom working together in a classic mid-range movement. And I'm just trying to balance and maintain my stability up top because it's not that easy. You'll see you're going to want to fall backwards. Again, the obliques are going to take another hit here, but that's perfectly positioned because you're able to continue to do it because you're not fully fatigued yet. Right, we move up the chain to the top-down movements as you get more and more fatigued. Which brings us to the top-down movement, which is the classic full sit-up. Now, whether or not you want to anchor your feet under something or not, just be conscious of the fact that you don't anchor it under something and then start pulling with those hip flexors again. If anything, I like to anchor my feet beyond something so that when I pull back, I'm activating the hamstrings, which will shut the hip flexors off a little bit and allow you to make sure that the abs are doing the work. Whatever it is, come all the way up to the top, lower yourself back down, keep that posterior tilt, keep that curvature of the spine so that you're not just flopping back, which can be detrimental to your back. And then, we wouldn't leave this out, guys, the last exercise here is going to be the classic dragon flag. You might think to yourself, there's no way in hell that I can do that exercise. Well, guess what? All you got to do is a minute of it. And I don't care how many seconds you can break off at a time, you have to accumulate 1 minute before this workout's over. Now, if you're on more of the advanced side, you do it with your legs out like I'm showing here. If you need a little bit of a break, remember we can shorten that lever arm, bring the knees in, and still try to get that floating effect. Up a little bit and down a little bit, up a little bit and down a little bit. By doing this, guys, you're going to kind of put that final nail in the coffin, but so what? There's nothing left after this, so give it all you got, and I promise you, you're in for a great ab workout. So guys, if you found the video helpful, remember, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know what you want me to cover. I'll do my best to do that for you in future videos. If you're looking for programs where we build in systematic ab training with a purpose and a progression in all of our workouts, you can get them over at ATHLEAN-X.com. In the meantime, guys, if you haven't already done so, click subscribe, turn on your notifications, and never miss a new video when I put one out. All right, guys, good luck. See you soon.